Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to teach you what you can do to pop music when you're dancing solo, and these movements are especially good for weddings. If you want to know how I help my clients such as May go from feeling rigid, looking uncomfortable on the dance floor to looking like this, book a free consultation with me. You'll find the link below this video. We'll see if we can work together inside my online program, Confidence Through Dance. We're going to start with a nice and smooth groove in place. And for this one, we're going to use the shoulders. So you're going to go up with the shoulder, bring it down, and then roll to the back as you shift weight in that direction. So the legs are not going to be doing a lot. You're just going to shift weight from side to side, but it's more so the groove is coming from the shoulders. Up, down, roll, up, down, roll. That's the action we're going for. A lot of shoulders. Bring it up, down, and only when you're rotating to the back, you're going to shift the weight towards that shoulder. Up, down, roll, and up, down, roll. Let's do it a few times, and then I will tell you how to make this movement look more natural. One more, up, down, roll. So first of all, you want to keep it small, especially the shoulder movements. We're not lifting all the way up. This will be just a little accent, and it will make more sense with the music, but it's just a little accent, little small movement. You don't want the shoulder to be too noticeable because we still want this movement to be very swaying side to side, very low key. So we don't want to exaggerate the shoulders there. Let's try again small. We have up and roll back, up and roll back. Keep everything nice and loose. The shoulders are not tensing, arms are loosely bent, but you're not keeping them still. Allow them to bounce a little bit. And this is our groove, number one. And it's perfect to do if the dance floor is crowded, if you don't have much space to move. This move is actually pretty good for the club as well, or a bar where there is no space to dance and you just want to be standing there grooving to the music. If you want to do a little bit more complex version of this, we're going to start the same way. Up and roll, and then give me 4 rolls back. Up and roll, up and roll, up and roll, up and roll as you're doing a quicker shift. I'll do that again, slower. Up, down, roll, switch side, and then 4 rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very tiny shift. One more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Up and roll, up and roll. 5, 6, 7, 8. You see how much looser this combination looks, but this is because I am keeping everything relaxed. I'm not adding any tension. I also allow the torso to twist a little bit. I'm not keeping it, facing forward. That wouldn't look natural. So as the shoulder is rotating back, it is taking my torso with it. See? So this is what we want, just a little swaying motion side to side. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep it small because the song is not very slow. Now the second version, remember we added the 4 rolls. I will do it now. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 1, 2, and roll, 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 roll. Again. For our second movement, we're going to travel a little bit. So let's say there is space on the dance floor. We're going to do a 2-step, but I will change it up completely. First of all, we're going to do a reverse bounce, which means on every beat, we're going to straighten the legs. You're going to go 1, and 2, and 1, and 2. I don't think I've done this one on my channel before. So it's a 2-step in a new version. Very bouncy. Back, 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 back. I'll show you from the side. You're going, with every step, you start with the knees bent, but every time the foot touches the floor, legs have to be straight. So we have straight, 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 straight. Don't exaggerate the knee bend. Of course, you're not going to be doing all of that. We're not doing like a hip-hop groovy routine. We have to make this movement look casual. So the smaller, the better. My knees go forward just a tiny, teeny, tiny amount. Next thing we'll add here is a twist. So when you open the feet, you're going to twist towards the foot you're stepping with, and then reset back to the center. I'm gonna go slow, twist with straight legs, bend straight, center. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. And I'm not going to lie, you have to have a pretty good coordination to be able to do all of that at once. The feet, the knees, the twist. But if you want a challenge, I'm going to add one more thing to it. We're going to add the arms. I'm just going to do a little cross and open action. I'm going to cross when I step open, when we're twisting, and then open when the torso is facing forward. So it will look something like this. And I know, don't hate me, I know there's a lot going on. Like I said, you don't have to do all the layers. You can just do even the feet with the knees and keep the torso relaxed, and you already are dancing. But if you want to make it more interesting, this is what we have. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Speed it up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. I don't want you to keep the torso very structured, meaning you don't have to be in the same exact position every time, same angle. The torso can do kind of its own thing a little bit as you're twisting it, if that makes sense. So don't pay too close attention to where you are with the torso. As long as it's moving, as long as you can stay on beat, it's all good. We're grooving. So we have first the feet, add the knees to the back, 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 back. Keep the step small. If you can do that, just stop here. Keep the arms bent. You're already dancing. If you want to make it more challenging, twist in between when the feet are open. This was layer number 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then last but not least, arms cross open. Just swing them loosely. 1, 2, 1, 2. If it's too much, you can always go back to just the feet and the knees to the back. I'll show you from the side, the knees. The last movement or movement variations will be very simple. I'll show you one that will be more neutral, more manly, and then one that's more feminine, whatever works for you. So the first one, we're just going to step out. And I mean out anywhere. So what happens is you're starting with the feet close. They don't have to touch, but they're close. And then on the snare drum, on beat 2, I want you to step randomly out. Don't plan it, doesn't matter the angle, the direction. This way you won't have to remember any specific movements. You're just letting the foot go out on 2. right? So let's try it out. We have 1, 2, 1, 2. Do your own angles. You don't have to follow me because you won't know what I'm going to do. It's not planned, as long as you're going out with the foot. And I'm just touching the ball to the foot. No, I'm just touching the ball of the foot to the floor, not flat foot. Right? And the feet always come back to being close. So this is like a neutral version. What I would add here is maybe just loose torso, random movements. You can twist a little bit, you can drop the shoulder, or you can just keep the torso nice and relaxed, not doing much. The arms stay bent. Imagine, you know, you're at a wedding, you maybe are holding a drink or something. You don't want to do anything too crazy with the arms. Nice and perfect little movement. But then we can also add some hips to it. So whichever step you're taking, doesn't matter where, as long as the foot is out, you're going to lift the hip a little bit. The same hip, you know, over the foot that you're stepping with, on the same beat. So it goes 1, 2, 1, 2. Random steps, doesn't matter where, to the back. You can do the same exact action with the hip. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. With this one, it's very important that your knees stay bent the entire time, because if we do this with straight legs, the hip won't be going up. It's blocked. So that's why I want you to be slightly lower, and then you have plenty of space to move the hip. Okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. And we don't need to do something, or we don't want to do anything specific with the arms, because we want the attention to be on the hips. If we start moving the arms and doing all kinds of motions with them, which you can, it takes away from what is happening with the hips. So it's up to you. If you want some ideas for the arms with the hips, I will post my videos below. They will give you some options. There's a lot of options there. Other than that, feel free to keep the arms bent and focus on the hips. You can repeat the same position over and over for a few beats, or you can make it really random. One foot goes one way, the other goes the other way. Up to you. This was version number 1. And then if you like the hips, add the hip lift, push through the toe and lift the hip a little bit, stay low-ish. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I can change the past. Don't want to complicate things. Maybe if I asked, was any of guys, if you're feeling uncomfortable dancing in front of other people, you tend to avoid it, you tend to not like the way you look dancing, maybe you're stiff, you're looking rigid, you don't know what movements to do, remember that I can help. In my online program, Confidence Through Dance, I help adults go from the sidelines to enjoying themselves on the dance floor by building their skills and their confidence using my system that in the past 18 years helps students like, for example, Sky, go from not looking so great on the dance floor to being a confident dancer looking like this, or students like Lisa, who went from no skills, no rhythm, no moves, and unsure about what to do, to freely expressing herself on the dance floor. Below, you'll find a link to book a free consultation with me, where we're going to discuss your dance goals and see how we can work together inside my online program. And if you haven't yet, check out my free 45-minute masterclass where I explain my method, how I became a confident social dancer, how I helped thousands of my clients. The link will be below as well. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this one. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I post, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye! I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now.